Okay, so this is it. It is the last ride on my Mutt Motorcycle Fat Sabbath. So I'm dropping it off to its new owner. So I thought I'd just document the ride and yeah, enjoy the last miles on this bike. Let's roll the intro. Okay, so here we go. It is nice and sunny, but it is cold, and yeah, it was freezing last night, so obviously we're going to definitely be taking it easy anyway. But I thought I could use this video to kind of sum up my experiences with this lovely Fat Sabbath 125, because even though it's been a short-lived ownership, it's a great bike. And even just whizzing it out of the garage now, yeah, the thing just looks awesome, absolutely awesome. So yeah, I'm riding, I think it's about 20-30 miles from that to Cheltenham, so I know roughly where I'm going, and then I'll crack open the sat nav when we get a little bit closer. So I thought I would kind of just summarise my thought process of owning one of these Mutt motorcycles. It was only about 3 months, really, 3.5 months on that, and as I ride, I've done 616 miles, so not loads of miles. As mentioned in some of my other videos, I actually got around to passing my test a lot faster than I thought I would. So I've upgraded to my bigger bike. More importantly, really one of the dream bikes that kind of got me to decide to get a motorbike. So check out the channel for some of the other motorcycle videos if you're interested in that. So let me talk a little bit about this Fat Sabbath and what it's been like to own. So, touch wood, like I said, short ownership and not loads of miles, but no issues whatsoever. So, at the end of the day, these are, I mean, they're not cheap bikes because you're paying a little bit for the customization, but you know, it's a cheap Chinese bike that's been customized by a motorcycle customizing place. So you know, it's going to have some oh, wrong gear there. So it's going to have, you know, the things you need to keep on top of, but any bike, you should be maintaining it. So people have said, you know, sometimes the bolts have come off on the exhaust stuff. These are things that you should be checking and maintaining anyway as part of being a motorcycle owner, I think. So, you know, on a more expensive bike you need to do that. So the only things I've done for the bike over my ownership is I have upgraded the headlights, so they're much nicer and brighter. I smoked the side reflectors. I fitted these bar end mirrors, which I'm still not sure if I, you know, really prefer them. They look cool, and the tint's quite nice on them. Obviously, it's slightly smaller visibility, so it just takes a little bit getting used to. Yeah, I think that's really the only kind of mods I've done. I bought some black anodized bolts to kind of go in some of the holes where the mirrors left, but didn't get around to fitting those yet, so I'll give those to the new owner. But yeah, that's it. I bought some exhaust wrap as well, which I didn't get around to fitting, so the new owner will get those as well. Just for styling, isn't it? But yeah, but no, it's been a cracking bike, and the one thing that I was most concerned about for me buying this bike was the knobbly tyres, but it's not been an issue at all. You just need to, you know, just be a bit conscious that they're a bit knobbly. And I've got no desire to go off-road because I'm a fair weather rider, but will they go green? Oh yes, good stuff. Yeah, I'm really more of a fair weather rider. Look at the floods. Oh, sounds so good for there. So yeah, I don't want to use it in the wet and the rain anyway. And this is kind of would be my kind of threshold, I think, of going out if I purposely wanted to. Still, it's a little bit, because of the temperature, I probably wouldn't actively go out for a blast myself in this weather, but it's fine. And like I say, the tyres, after the first, say, 10 miles, you just get used to the knobbliness, and the only time you really notice it is at higher speed, because I guess you've got a little bit less tyre on the road, but not for me, it's never been the issue. So I think it's been a great bike, and so many positive compliments. Whenever you pull up somewhere, people would go, oh, that's a really nice bike, what is it? You kind of tell them they've never heard of it before, and they love the look of it. It does look really nice, and the other thing I have done, which I hadn't mentioned, was the custom decals I put on the tank and that. People have commented that they like the look of that as well. So I did those in a matte black vinyl that can be just kind of taken off. I think they look really, really nice and subtle as well. So it's a great bike. I think Mutt Motorcycles are getting a little bit more publicity. I saw there was some kind of program on the TV the other day where they kind of customised cars and things, but they did a little bit more customisation on a Mutt for the guy's daughter. But I think they're great. A great starter bike, but they don't look like a starter bike. That's what I think the beauty of it is that it doesn't look like, oh, this is my first bike. You could be happy, using this, go to the shops on it. It just doesn't look like a child's bike. I think that's what my thought process is. And my signal bike there. Yeah, I think if I had the money and the room, I would have. I'll keep it, but the new bike is more money, and it's big, and I don't think I'd use it as much. But I would definitely tell people, to consider a bike like this. Nothing to fit. Oh, I'm okay. Okay. So I guess the only negatives, and there are things that you soon kind of get over, and that was the first one. There's no gear indicator. So the older ones that have the speedo and the geometry in kilometers an hour, they did have a gear indicator on it. But that's something that is nice to have, but you soon work out what you're doing. I mean, it's 5 gears. The only thing I'm not sure on, am I in first and am I in fifth? And you can easily find that out by trying to move up and you can't, and trying to move down and you can't. So it's not a problem. And the speedo and the dial is easy enough to see. It's very difficult though to see if you've left your full beam on or left the indicators on. So you just kind of have to tune your eye a little bit to kind of see that. It's got no fuel tank gauge, but my new bike hasn't got that either. I mean, you soon kind of work out what you're doing. But you get like maybe 200 miles out of the tank, or maybe a bit more, on these Mutts. They're pretty fuel efficient. It's pretty awesome, really. So yeah, no, I love it. Even just riding it now, the sound of it is just amazing. And there's something about being new to motorbike, and there's something kind of freeing about it. I can't quite explain what it is, but yeah, it's quite freeing. I guess talking about fuel, that's the one thing. With the tank having its fill hole on the side, sometimes if when you're filling it up, you need to be careful you don't overfill it, because obviously when you then put it round on the court, lean it back on the stand or whatever, bit of fuel could tip out when you stand it up straight, so just be careful of that. It says that in the manual on the top of the tank anyway if you haven't taken it off. And then that was the only other thing about the fuel that I mentioned. Oh yeah, I guess that's the other thing, just the way the tank sets out. Sometimes if you try and start it on the stand, suspension is very firm on the point, but I like that. You might have trouble starting sometimes from cold. So just basically, take the bike off the stand, level it up, starts first time every time. Lots of people moan that the batteries go flat if you don't use it for a while, but they're really small batteries, and they're pretty cheap batteries as well. So you can spend money on a new battery if you wanted to. Or I use C-Tech trickle chargers, so I have a C-Tech battery connector. It's also got an indicator on to help me get an indication of battery health. I keep that on the bike, and then when I'm not using the bike, not using it every day, I just keep it plugged into the trickle chargers. Not a problem at all. First, good to go. Yeah, so first gear, you need to get a move on. It's a very short first gear, so all the pops and the bangs of it. Where was I? Just getting distracted by this guy at my arse. Yeah, so I love it. It's relatively easy to clean as well. I'm a bit fastidious about keeping things all nice and clean, so I gave it a good clean when I got it, and put some ACF 50 protector on it, so it's a rust inhibitor, keep it all nice and lasting a long time. So my plan was to keep this over a year, not be selling it in 3 months, but it's what it is. Moving on to different things on my motorcycle journey. The accelerates pretty good up to 50, and I'm a larger guy, so if you're a bit lighter, it's going to perform a lot better for you.
Thanks for watching this video. A thumbs up would be really appreciated. If you're interested in other geek type videos, please consider subscribing to Spectrum Geeks. Why not also follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And before you leave, why don't you check out one of these other videos that may be of interest. Thanks again for watching.